Is this frequency in use? K1GMM. Hey, what's going on, you guys? I'm just doing a silly little thing, testing the stream health. See if I can catch somebody on 40 meters this morning. What do we got? Tintillo's in here and KK7PW Seattle. Good to see you, man. Yeah, just come along for the ride, and I've been having some problems with the let me see if I can get the camera. I think that's a little better, isn't it? See if I can figure out what's going on. I've been having some problems with having all the systems running at the same time while I'm streaming, so I'm gonna just give this a run and see what happens, see if I can muster up any activity. And John, stealth mode at your desk. Cool, dude. Yeah, John, I'm just trying to see if I can get things cleaned up a little bit, so I'm just running a quick stream, see if I can round up anybody on 40 meters. So here we go. I'll put her into loop. Before I put it in a loop, John, just to let you know, I tried, it seemed to work really well. What, Streamlabs? Is that what it's called? I think that's what you called it. And it worked great. The problem is there's no auto scene switcher yet for it, and I really need that. So anyways, I guess I'm gonna have to wait. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to switch the scenes and the cameras manually, and it's too much for my feeble mind. So key up again, see if there's anybody knocking around on 223. So I'm gonna kick the scene switcher in, and away we go. Slobs, that's it. Is this frequency in use? K1GMM. Sorry about the thump. Is this frequency in use? Hey John, how's it going? Calling CQ, CQ40, CQ 40 meters, CQ Kilo 1 Golf Mike, Kilo 1 Golf Mike, K1GMM, Manchester, Vermont, calling CQ, and bye. Yes, Peter, it's coming straight into the front. Right into the front of the 7300. I'm still seeing some glitching, stuttering on the waterfall on SDR console. CQ, K1GMM, Kilo 1 Golf Mike, Kilo 1 Golf Mike, calling CQ, CQ40, CQ 40 meters, Kilo 1 Golf Mike, bye for a call. Hey John, how's it going? Two Johns in there, McGinnis and Griffiths. I did get my other monitor in place, so we'll go with that. Kilo 1 Golf Mike, Kilo 1 Golf Mike, calling CQ, CQ40, CQ 40 meters, Kilo 1 Golf Mike, bye for any calls. Geez, have I got any output? This is painful. CQ, CQ40, CQ 40 meters, CQ, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, calling CQ40. CQ 40 meters, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Bye for any calls. Shoot, I need my coffee. Thank you, John. EI2, by the way. CQ40, CQ 40 meters, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, calling him by. I'm going to do a live stream later, you guys, on signal to noise ratio. I've been doing a lot of thinking about that. And I think just the importance of it. I think I mentioned it on the stream speed before, but all the antennas, I focus a lot of my attention on that particular aspect of antenna selection, is signal to noise, and with the bands the way they are. I figured I'll scrounge up a little bit of information. I've always looked at signal to noise as something that's relevant, obviously, to the audio realm in studio recording and stuff like that. Always looking at different pieces of gear, software, and what their signal to noise ratio specs are. But it's a really important aspect to antenna selection and building. So I figured I'm going to do a live stream on that. Italy, Giorgio, good to see you. Good Lord, you guys. I didn't think anybody'd be in here this morning. CQ40, CQ 40 meters, CQ, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, calling CQ, CQ 40, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, K1GMM, north of Manchester, Vermont, calling him by. It's going to be later, John. SVL. It's going to be... I need to put together some information. So probably won't be till 3 or 4 o'clock Eastern time. Eastern Standard Time, which that would be... What time is it now? It's got to be close to 11. So 11:18... 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. So that's 4. That'll probably be around 2000 UTC, somewhere in there. Chris, how's it going? Good to see you, man. All right. Boy, a lot of hiccuping just now. I've been researching. Geez, there's a great deal on eBay, but I'm afraid to where the bids are going to go to on an i7 Intel gigabit board CPU with 32 gigs of RAM on it, and it's like $149. That is a steal. I'm debating on whether to pull the trigger on that there, John. Hey, Peter, how's it going? All right, nobody's coming back to me here, so I'm going to have to go hunting. So let's come down here, see who's on 180.
2001, I had about a 96. And that thing... It was pretty good, he claimed. He bought a 1306, and this one just kind of sitting, not being used, so I went and got it.
Let me know if you guys hear a massive echo, because I'm trying to run without headphones on, and it is bleeding into
the guy that started
the hot microphone I have here.
The way he got started was Newt Rockney in Notre Dame University. He was
Thanks, Peter.
A student of his. And
it's very nice, dude.
He knew he was a ham radio operator and monkeyed with stuff. So
put a lot of work into it, dude.
Something that he could use instead of his megaphone to yell to his when he was coaching from the stands. So he built him a powered microphone with a car battery and everything and a speaker. And he nicknamed it, Newt Rockney nicknamed it his electric voice. And that's how the Electro-Voice company got started. Well, the kid graduated from school and started the company. Later went on to start Tentec. But anyhow, he started the company, and he somehow got a hold...
Go ahead and mute that. Yeah, Chris, I've got some real problems. I've been talking to John, Sigma Z. He's on here, W2JON. He's the one that got me going with that stuff. And let me stop the scene switcher. Yeah, the Jitsi thing. See, John runs his on a separate server he's got locally to him. And he explained that what's most might be happening. I think he did post a question in a forum, in a Jitsi blog or forum or something like that. You could elaborate on that, John, if you're not too busy. But I was in with John and Al, G7RHF. John, of course, is stateside, running through Jitsi on his own virtual server, whatever it's called. And it was great. The guys from the UK could come in. Al came in no problem. And we were having like a three-way chat. Of course, this wasn't on the stream. So on the stream, I was actually using the servers wherever they are. That was all done through the internet. And for some reason, like you guys could see each other, and anybody here stateside, I could see them, but we couldn't bridge that gap across the pond. So that's kind of a bust right now. I'm not going to use it until I can get... The whole point of it is to have it inclusive and not exclusive. So at some point I'll be diving in a little deeper. I don't know if it's running a separate server. I'm looking at computer options, making some adjustments. So far I'm watching SDR console and it looks really good. It is catching a little bit, but it's pretty darn smooth. So anyways, let's see if we can find somebody to chat with. That's no problem, John. John's working and he's playing at the same time. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Bring the audio back.
Yeah, it's been restored for quite a number of years. Probably, well, 1992 I finished it. And since that...
Selling a monument. El Italiano, AC1DD, he's building him a tombstone.
See, who's down on 140.
How wind is it?
It's really, really windy. I hate it. So I don't mind walking it when it's cold, but I just hate that wind over.
Man, that is a big signal on 192.
You can actually wear the year of origin plates if you can get a set of original plates.
Is that an updraft carburetor?
It sure is. Zenith carb.
Oh, base guest house.
Base guest house.
Uh-huh.
Now, put the base name in it.
Yeah, just put,
Okay, he asked about the mag loop. John, are you referring to the 80 meter mag loop? That was a total bust, dude. Total bust. I think I had a massive amount of interrupt in the skin effect based upon how John actually picked it up, W2JON, looking at it, and it got me thinking about it. With a carrier, it would load up perfect, but the minute I threw a modulated signal at it, all hell broke loose. SWR was flying all over the place, and the mag loops operate on skin effects, so it's very important. So what I had was I had the copper tubing I had pieced together and sleeved. I didn't use actually a copper coupler because the ones I got were the wrong size. I was actually using 5/8 tubing and I thought it was 3/4. So I was like, I'll just, not thinking, I sleeved the tubing together with a piece of 1/2-inch copper and then sweated it all together. Well, see, it doesn't like that because the RF flows on the skin of the loop. Same with a coax. If you build a coaxial loop, it flows on the braid. So, yeah, I really messed that up. It was a mess. Hang on. Excuse me, guys. I got a massive tickle in my throat. I've had I think what I'd call a cold for the past, I don't know, a couple, 2 or 3 weeks now. It's just nagging at me, driving me crazy. I wake up in the morning all goopy and bleh, just really gross. See, now it's hanging really bad. SDR console just brain farted. All right, get the volume back on here.
WA3GP, Whiskey Alpha 3 Golf, Papa Echoes calling in by.
Kilo 1, Golf, Mike.
Yeah, good morning. Kilo 1, Golf, Mike. Good morning to you. And thanks a lot for answering my CQ. I was beginning to wonder if there was anybody around to talk to there. The band's not real crowded, but I do hear some signals. No problem at all. Yeah, you got a nice signal here. You're well over S9. Real nice signal. And the location here is Altoona, Pennsylvania. About the south central part of the state. And the name here is Glen. Golf, Lima, Echo, November. Glen is the name here. So let me send it back to you again. Thanks a lot for answering the CQ there. K1GMM, WA3GPE.
Yeah, WA3GPE. Glenn, good to meet you. And it didn't pop up in the log, but that doesn't mean we haven't chatted before. Name is Steve, Sierra Tango Echo, Victor Echo. I'm up here in southwest corner of Vermont with a tremendous path to Pennsylvania. I always have a good path down to you guys on 40 and down to Virginia as well. It's such a good location for me. Yeah, you're 20 over, dude. You're blowing my doors in. So I found it's funny because I was just up here. I was looking at the pan adapter and I was listening down below, and I was just up here on 223 calling about 5-10 minutes ago. I called and called. Nobody came back, and I was like, I'm going to go hunting. And I'm actually live streaming right now. I'm testing out some things on the K1GMM YouTube channel, and just checking. I've been having some issues. I think I'm just crushing my computer to the point where it's having a hard time. So I figured I'd do a test run here, and then going to do a stream on signal to noise ratio later today. I got to put together some material, but yeah, I looked on the waterfall. I thought, good Lord, that's a big signal. I wonder who that is. So yeah, good copy on you, to put it mildly there, Glenn. Good to hear you, man. WA3GPE, K1GMM, over.
Yeah, okay there, Steve. Great. Yeah, you're, looks like you're peaking 20 over here. Also, big signal here coming in this morning. So it looks like we do have a good shot up into Vermont here this morning. Well, let's see here. Well, the sun is out. That's a good thing. But man, oh man, what a crazy winter here. I guess we had well, it's like snowing all the time, but yesterday a little bit. But today it's a nice, clear, sunny day out there, and I guess the temperature is supposed to really go down here. I guess coming from the northwest there, they've had minus temperatures, really brutal. So man, I don't know. It's one of the coldest winters that we've had for a long time. To tell you the truth, it's been fairly mild the past couple years, but not today. Well, I started out on 20 meters, but for some reason I'm hearing RF. I have a different station that I'm using, and
okay, guys, I see that.
Maybe something ice. I'm just thinking it's something on the antenna up there on the beam. Maybe some icing conditions or something. But yeah, didn't look too good. So amplifier wasn't looking too good, and I was hearing some RF. So it must be, like I said, something up on the antenna there. I was on here, I don't know, a few days ago, and it was okay. So who knows? So I thought, well, that's not gonna do too good on 20. Although I didn't hear much there anyways. So I thought I'd come down here on 40 meters, and it seems to be pretty good here. And station here is a Yaesu FT2000.
Okay, guys, I just made a change.
Driving a Kenwood TL922A amplifier into a 40-meter dipole. And yeah, I wish I had.
I just made a change, guys. So wait a minute, see if it changes anything.
And waterfall on this station, but I don't. So I just have to tune. It does have a sub receiver, so what I usually do is tune around on the sub receiver. You know, keep it on this frequency and just tune around and listen for other signals. So I do have a number of SDRs here. And I have an older Flex 5000A, which has a great band scope and waterfall. Probably should have used that one, but
nice, guys.
No, I don't know. At any rate, I you know how you get used to things, and I'm used to that setup there. But this was already tuned up and ready to go on 40 meters, so I thought, well, I'll just give it a try. It looks like it's 28 out right now. 28 degrees, so I'm sure you guys got some pretty cold weather up there in Vermont too, and probably have about maybe 4 or 5 inches of snow on the ground. So looks like there's another system coming through. I was looking at the weather map, so I don't know. But yeah, you said something about live streaming there. I wonder where that what website that is there, Steve. I do have the computer on here. I could probably if you have something up and running there, I can probably put it on the screen here. K1GMM WA3GPE.
Okay, left a little break in case there's other people that wanted to jump in, but yeah, all good on that. I just, you know, I used to be out there really quick. I used to be out there working on antennas. It didn't matter how cold it was, but I'm just not into it anymore. I've got some problems. And I'm not going to go into the mental and emotional issues I have. But yeah, the stream is being pushed to YouTube through to the K1GMM YouTube channel. And I'm watching the guys on the chat. Oh, okay. They said the cameras were blurry, and they shouldn't be blurry because I'm running 1280 by 720 push to YouTube. And I'm looking at the monitor right now, and that is, it looks good on my end. So I just made a change in OBS. If you have I don't want to put you on the spot, man. You know, we're here to play radio, but if you got the computer up, go to the K1GMM YouTube channel and take a look at the live feed and tell me what you see. If the cameras are really blurry, it looks like Chris told me, he's stateside here, he told me it's better now. So, but it is using more CPU, so I'm not exactly sure what is going on. Having a lot of problems with the computer. You know, it's tasking because I'm doing about 400 watts right now, transceivers and IC 7300, and the antenna is a 40-meter parasitic delta array going southwest currently. And I don't use the front end of the 7300 at all. I'm using an AirSpy HF Plus with SDR console through sync to OmniRig with OmniRig. So I'm working it pretty hard, plus I'm pushing the stream through, and I have Log4OM running as well, plus the chat. Okay, John hasn't seen a reduction in quality yet. He's watching in Pennsylvania, actually. Okay. Anyways, that's the scoop, Glenn. It's a madhouse. It's so frustrating because I think what I'm going to end up doing, a lot of this stuff I run prefers an Intel chipset. And I'm running an AMD 6-core with 16 gigs of RAM. And you know, if a piece of software is looking for an Intel chip and it doesn't see it, and it's designed to run on an Intel chipset, first of all, that's really not the smart way to go in the first place. But oh, sorry about that. I hit the timeout on the. I'm gonna have to set that. Anyways, back to you, dude. Sorry about the long over. WA3GPE K1GMM.
Oh, okay, Steve. Yeah, great. No problem. Well, yeah, I'm looking at you on live stream, Steve. You got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can hear my voice coming back. There's sort of a delay there. So, well, I'm looking at your. It looks like you have multiple cameras that you're switching. Looks like 4 of them, and the video is nice and clear here, anyways.
Cool.
Let me see. That's a little. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm seeing everything. I've got an older computer here. It's an older HP desktop computer. I think it's a quad core. I'm not really sure. It's an older computer. But like I said, I'm looking at your now I see a picture of your radio, 7223. Yeah, that's not as clear as it was before. I don't know why now. I don't get it. Might be on this end too, Steve. I don't know. I mean, I'm on a broadband connection here. I forget what my speed is here. I have to do a search on it. But yeah, I don't know. It looked like it was clearer before, but yeah, no, that's blurry right now. I like that what you have up on the screen now. It's blurry now. Well, I wonder what would cause that. When you first came on, it was clear, but now it is a little bit blurry. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, geez. So it's not stable then. It's getting blurry. Encoder. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm looking at the encoder preset right now. Higher equals less CPU. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it to slower and see if it completely train wrecks the whole thing. This is about the best quality I can generate. Video bitrate is 2500, audio bitrate's 160. Enforced streaming service bitrate limits. So that's been applied. So this should render. I never had this problem before. That's why I'm wondering. See, John tells me it's clear on his end, completely clear. He's down in your neck of the woods. W2JON is his call. He's on the stream right now, playing hooky from work. But anyways, yeah, aside from that, thanks. Appreciate you checking it out and letting me know what's going on there. What's the scoop for you guys coming into tomorrow evening? We have a winter storm watch warning posted. I guess we're supposed to pick up 6 to 10 inches of snow there. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay there. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you about that. It could probably be from my end here. I mean, I don't see any difference at all. But don't take my word for it. Put it to you that way. Yeah, don't take my word for it. Because it could be something on my end here, and Steve. So I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't take that too seriously, for sure. But yeah, it's kind of neat how you have that set up there. Yeah, I know a lot of a few people I've talked to have a similar setup with a live stream on there, and it's pretty neat there, really, how you do that. And okay, on the rig there, boy, I tell you what, I don't know how many people I've talked to running that radio. It's very popular, and boy, they really sound good too. Right out of the box, I guess you have to do a little bit of setting up initially on the radio, but other than that, thing really sounds good. So Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, you come in here. Yeah, it's funny about computers. Yeah, sometimes I come in here and things are up and running fine, and then
I did make a change, you guys. I went to ultra very fast.
One time the thing wouldn't.
Which is less CPU, so let me know if it all fell apart there.
I was waiting and never did connect up to it, so I had to reboot it, and it finally did connect up. So I don't know what that's all about. And then occasionally when I have that flex going, the software, you can run what they call the Panafall, which is a band scope and a waterfall. And the band scope was there, but the waterfall wasn't on. So I had to shut everything down and reboot it, and then it came back up again. So I don't know. And that's a new computer there too. It's only about a year old that I have that one on. It's running Windows 10. Now this one here is running Windows 7. Like I said, it's an older computer, and the other one is it is a quad core, and I forget a lot of memory in it and all that. I guess the only issues I think is that you have to use a FireWire card.
No, John. No.
When you run that older Flex, or I guess the newer ones, why the USB.
No, it's off. The server's down. I shut the server off.
FireWire card there, Steve. So that weather. Like I said, I hate winters anymore. I hate winter. I just talked to a guy the other day that just moved down to South Carolina. He lived up in New York, and he said he had enough of it, so he moved down south there, and I don't blame him. Temperatures were in the 50s and 60s down there, and here they're in the teens and 20s, so I don't know. Crazy weather. At any rate, I'll get back on your. I don't know if you changed anything on the YouTube thing, but I'll get back on that. I'll get back on your live stream there. I clicked off of it now, but I'll get back on. I just click back on it again and see what's going on. K1GMM WA3GPE.
Yeah, WA3GPE K1GMM Vermont. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Glenn. Appreciate it. I can't. You know what we tried? Quick question. Have you seen, because I've always been an AMD guy because I used to do a lot of gaming. So the computer I'm on right now was built for gaming, right? And a lot of this radio stuff like Flex systems, I don't have a Flex, but even the software like SDR console, okay, they're saying it's clean. The video's good. So Tintillo, I can't remember where he's at. Not blurry in an image quality respect, but the frame rate makes it look sluggish. That's what John's telling me. Okay. Have you looked at the cost of boards and processors for the i7? The Intel i7, I almost fell out of my chair, dude, this morning. Just a board, I can't remember if it included any RAM or the actual CPU. I mean, they were like between $350 and like $700. I almost flipped my gourd when I saw that. Over.
Wow, geez, no, I haven't checked the price on any of that stuff there, Steve. Wow, that's quite a price there. Yeah, boy. I think the last computer I bought, that HP, I think I only paid around the whole thing. I had the monitor, but like I said, it's a quad core and got lots of memory and all that kind of stuff, and it was around $500. So why is I'm looking at your video now. It looks a little bit clearer now there, Steve. It's I'm looking at it now. It's not as blurry as it was. I don't know what's going on, but I'm done with computers. Like I said, that last one I bought is fine with me, and I've got these other old computers here. So at any rate, not really. No, that. Yeah, no, that shot there is blurry now. Yeah, looks like I can't really read anything on there. That's a blurry. And then you got the map up there too. So that's weird. That's weird. So I don't know, Steve. The price of some of this stuff here is kind of ridiculous. But one thing for sure, that 7,300, that's a great price. You know, I think there was a sale on them here at one time, and they were like 900, under $1,000 actually, under $1,000. So, you know, for the price of that radio, you can't beat it. And I heard some guys running the 7610s, you know, the next model up, and basically they sound pretty much the same. It's a bigger radio. It's the only thing about the 7300 is a rather small radio, but I mean, for what you pay for it and for what you get for it, boy, that's a heck of a bargain. So at any rate, that's the story there, and let me send it back to you there. And I still have you up on the live stream. Pretty neat. Oh, I kind of like that. I kind of like that, Steve. That's kind of neat how you got that. K1GMM WA3GPE.
Okay, yeah, WA3GPE, K1GMM, Vermont. I've been having a good time with it. Really quick. There's so many things I could throw at you. Well, the reason why I first started doing this was because I was kind of hunting around, you know, if I'm tinkering around in the shack or I'm over at the workstation, you know, working on some kind of abomination. You know, I like having something running. You know, live streams are kind of cool. You know, you can kind of set it in the background, you can listen, you can watch. And I was noticing a lot of live streams, and they didn't really... I'm not criticizing anyone, but a lot of times you'll see guys just have nothing but the computer screen on. I want to see the shack, you know what I mean? I want to see what's going on. So I got to thinking about it. I'm an ex-wedding photographer, retired wedding photographer, and so, you know, imaging, I never really did much with video. So I got thinking, you know, okay, if I did this, how would I do it? And I was doing it just for fun, you know, just for giggles, for something to do, you know, and good Lord, the thing blew up into a, you know, there's a bunch of guys that followed me. I'm not monetized, so I don't care, you know, but I think I started, what were there, like 600 or 700 subscribers I think I had, and when I started, and now it's like 1,300 and something maybe. Crazy, you know, but you know, try to provide an entertainment aspect, and there is entertainment sometimes. It's a mess, dude. I'm a mess, and everybody knows it, but they don't care. We just get in here, knock around, have a good time, you know, and it's a place. What's really interesting, Glenn, is the aspect. I never took this into consideration when I first started doing this, but I've had guys that were just thinking about getting their ticket, and they stumbled upon this sort of thing, my stream, a couple other guys, and they follow them closely, and it convinced them to go ahead and get their ticket. So, you know, if there's any benefit to this at all, it's you know, there it is. Over. Yeah,
I can see that. Someone watching watching your videos there would show some interest in the hobby there. And well, how are they automatically switching views there? Are you doing that, Steve? How, you know, the different the camera views? Are you doing that, or is that switching that automatically?
That is doing it automatically. I run what's called OBS software, and you can put in, I guess it's a plugin which I'm running. It's called an auto scene switcher. So basically, I can manually select the scenes, or I can engage the auto scene switcher, and you have to tell it, basically, you have to configure it, tell it what scene to go to next and how long to hold for. You know what I mean? It's pretty intuitive, pretty easy. And to start it and stop it, you just hit the plus key on the keyboard. So I can stop it, and like right now, I'm going to stop it. Just hit the plus key on the keyboard, and then I can pretty much go to any scene. So I just stopped it, and you know, and then you can load all your desktops in. I have 4 monitors running. and you can basically set it up to walk through. It's really easy to do. And what I'm thinking is, I'm wondering if the problem with the blurriness coming and going, I'm wondering if I need to reboot that router. I bet you I do, because I have to reboot it sometimes. And I noticed I haven't done a up-down test on it in a long time, but I did check it the other night when I was trying that Jitsi conference room thing plumbed into the stream, and it wasn't very impressive. And I'm on fiber here, and I've got, the last time I checked, I was 820 up and down, 820 megs up and down. So it's virtually massive bandwidth. And I just thought of that just now. I'm wondering if there's something up. I'm going to call VTEL probably when I get off the key with you here. K1GMM.
Okay there, Steve. Yeah, fine on the... now I'm looking at your one picture at your desk there. You have a row of... I'm not sure what they are. Is that how you can switch your cameras manual? I know you said it's doing it automatically, but those buttons or whatever on the desk in front of you below the microphone, is that for your camera switching?
Yeah, I just went to talk and I forgot to hit the PTT because I have so much going on. No, those 3 switch boxes are for the antennas. So, and the remote switch. I thought about picking up an MFJ remote switch, but I didn't like the port-to-port isolation on it. So what I do is, out in the corner of the basement, I'm down in the dungeon, in the basement, in the old studio room, the playroom, and I set the shack up down here. Now, instead of bringing all the coax to all my antennas to the shack, across from one corner of the basement to the other through the ceiling, I bring one line through from a remote, from an Alpha Delta 4. It's an Alpha Delta 4 switch. And I set up a little motor drive on it. And I use a PVC end cap coupled to the shaft of the motor drive. And the switch box you see on the left actually switches through the 4 different antennas. The switch box in the middle is for the 40-meter array I'm on. That switches it back and forth through a homebrew double pole, double throw switch, because the shields can't be common for that particular antenna system. Basically uses stubs, 38.6 foot long stubs to provide the adequate loading, 120 ohm inductive load on the parasitic element, turning it into a reflector. Now the switch on the right, on the far right, is for the 80 meter, 75 meter phase delta loop array, which I have out in the front. And that switches basically either northeast or southwest. So that's what those are for. Over.
Oh, okay, very good, man. You have kind of a nice way of switching things around there. Boy, I don't have nothing like that here at all, Steve. I just got a lot of coax running in here, and I have a one coax switch, which I don't even use right now, but I basically just have, well, my 20 meter station is kind of, I just have a separate station for that. So that's no problem, and I've been running just basically 80 or 40 meters here. I don't get on 80 meters hardly at all anymore, so I just have all separate wire antennas out there, dipoles and vertical.
Cool, John, thank you.
And the beam for 20, 15, and 10, but at any rate, I got to just manually, put the coax connectors in and out. Not the greatest way to do things, but you have a really nice setup there, Steve. The way you have things configured there. So hey, I got to get going here. Getting on noontime there, Steve, and really enjoyed talking to you. And like I said, I still have the stream up there, and yeah, it's about the same. I haven't seen anything different there. So like I said, that's just what I'm seeing here. So I wouldn't take it too seriously what I'm looking at here. I'd definitely get other comments on on the streaming video there. But that's nice. It's kind of nice that you do that. And like I said, I know some other guys that do the same thing there, and that's kind of neat to actually see the visual, see the streaming, and like you mentioned, you have the different cameras in the shack and showing different things there. Some, like you said, just showing a screen. One guy, he just has it as showing of him shack talking there, which is nice, showing that view there. But it's kind of nice that you have the different cameras there and showing different things. So, yeah, great, good deal there. So, okay there, Steve. Well, I think I'll get going here, and really glad you gave me a call there. Nice to talk to you, and a lot of nice information there about your station, and I enjoyed the live stream there. K1GMM WA3GPE.
Yeah, WA3GPE, K1GMM. Hey, man, thanks for picking up the call. I'll find it. Do you frequent up here? Are you in this area a lot, up around 223? Because there's a lot of good guys up in this area, anywhere from like a little bit above 210 up in the 220 up to 228, somewhere in here. I keep trying to catch, I think there's Larry. There's a couple guys that I'm wanting to catch, and I haven't talked to them in a long time. Over.
Yes, Steve. Yeah, this is usually where I operate. I very rarely go down any lower. Sometimes I might go a little bit higher up in the band, But usually I stay around here basically because it's always nice and clear. I don't usually hear a lot of activity around here. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So it is. I know I've heard you before, and I recognize the call sign. I don't know if you ever worked the Pennsylvania QSO party, but that is my favorite event. So that's I probably even worked you in there, probably past couple of years, I would imagine, if you do it. I don't know if you play in that realm or not. But you sound superb, by the way, and everything is working great for you. Big signal, and thanks for picking up the call, Glenn. I'll catch up with you later on. And I didn't want to monopolize the queue. I wanted to actually find out more about what's going on with you. But I appreciate your help. For sure, dude. We'll catch you later. Have a great afternoon. And 7-3, all the best to the family. WA3GPE from K1GMM.
Yeah, no problem there, Steve. No problem at all. And no, I don't participate in any contests at all. So no, you'd never hear me. You'd never hear me in any of the QSO parties. And over the weekend, they had that winter field day. Wow. That was kind of crowded with a winter field day, so that's over with. But no, I don't. I don't go into any contests at all. So I'm just. I'll go in here. I just like to get on here and yak. That's about it. So okay, Steve. Again, really good talking to you there, and thanks for picking me up there. And you have a good day up there in Vermont. K1GMM WA3GPE.
Okay, Glenn. Yep, we'll catch you later, dude. And I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm going to get off and running for the stream later, see if I can put stuff together. Something somewhat coherent. I know it'll be a miracle. I'm going to let this render to YouTube. So if you wanted to go back, because it was basically an armchair copy, and I'm listening. I know you're not running 4K wide, but I do have the console set at 4K wide. It's a really good study for you. To check. I wouldn't touch anything, but I'll let it go to YouTube, and you can go back to it and listen to it. And I think it'll be a good tool for you to use in the future. Good reference. You know what I mean? If you start changing things, you can go back to it and listen. Anyways, we'll catch you later. Off and running. 7-3 K1GMM.
Okay, Steve. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, I still have it up and running there, so definitely check that out. And it's kind of neat doing that. I always, you never know what you run into when you get on the air here, but I always kind of like the live streams there. So great on that, Steve. Okay, good morning, and you have a good day up there. K1GMM WA3GPE.
You too, Glenn. Catch you later. K1GMM.
Hey, Steve, just want to jump in there and say hello to you. KC3RD, just wanted to say hello, buddy.
Hey, what are you doing? I figured you'd be knocking around somewhere in here. How are you?
Pretty good. Hey, I was watching the stream there. Looking good. I love the camera angles, and when you bring all 4 cameras up, pretty nice, Steve. All right, I don't want to hold you. I want to say hello to you there. So let you get back at it. K1GMM, KC3ERD.
Yeah, no problem, Bill. And I heard you, this was after you sent me the logo. I heard you, I didn't want to interrupt because you guys were going hot and heavy in there. It was up in this area. It may have been the same day, later that day, because I think you sent me that logo in the morning. And thank you very much for that, by the way. Guys, on the stream, let me pull that up. If you want to know where this logo came from, this came from our friend Bill on the stream. Where is it? Oh, shoot. All right, hold on. Let me switch. See if I can get this switch. Which one am I on here? Gray line. There we go. There you go, guys. That logo, Bill, the lovely and talented KC3ERD, did this for me. Absolutely superb. So I figured I'd throw that in on the stream. Thank you very much. And yeah, I was listening to you. Boy, you sound good. Sound really good. I don't know if you've been playing with stuff. What are you on, Bill, right now? Over?
Yeah, I'm still on the Yaesu FT950, Steve. I've been tweaking on it a little bit, but the Flex is 6400. I'm still working on that with, the guys, the audio guys. Need a long way to go with that yet, and I don't have an amp hook to it, but I have the capability of jacking all my outboard, gear into the Flex now. So it's on its way. It'll probably take another week or so, and I have a new antenna coming in, so that'll be much better because I can't get up on 80 right now. So K1GMM, KC3ERD, back to you, Steve.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I knew you had something else. I couldn't remember. Now, have you played with the 64M enough to really dig in deep, or are you still in the embryonic stage with that? Over?
Yeah, I'm in between the embryonic and getting in deep. A little bit past the beginning stage. With Larry and Art and Rick and them guys. They bring you along pretty fast. So first SDR radio, but man, I'm loving it. I never heard a receiver that quiet. But a lot of fun and a lot to learn. Yeah, back to you.
That is, yes, that's one thing I will tell you. I will never go back to a conventional, well, I'm running a conventional transceiver, but I'm only using it for the PA on it. I don't use the front end of the 7300 at all. I use the AirSpy HF Plus. And I don't know if I told you this, but I found the HF Plus absolutely eats the front end of the 7300 for lunch. No contest. As good as the 7300 is, the receiver, no, there's no comparison, man. The HF Plus wins. The reason why I know that is because I experienced it in real time, real life. I was listening to Roger, who I think is right over the mountain from me, over in Glens Falls. He's too close on 40. And I happened to be listening, monitoring through the 7300 at the time. And I knew he was in there, but I couldn't understand him. And good Lord, I switched over to the console, which that's all I do now. I don't even monitor through the 7300 anymore. And I switched over to the console, and bang, there he was. No problem. Now, it wasn't the difference between at the noise floor and an S5. I don't want anyone to mistake that it's that much of a stark difference, but holy mother. Oh, yeah, big difference. The difference between a signal that you just cannot understand what they're saying, and basically kick back, put your feet up in the chair, and understand everything he's saying. That to me is a big difference. But what computer? There was something I was gonna. Yeah, I don't know when you popped in, Bill, but later on today, I'm putting together some material for signal-to-noise ratio. I'm going to do a stream later on signal-to-noise ratio and how important that is. I'm going to relate it mostly to antennas, but you you touched on a very important aspect of this SDR stuff, because that definitely is a huge thing, because the receive on these systems is so quiet. It's absolutely shocking. Over.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Steve. You know, with the SDR, it's a little bit different animal, but boy, I know, I understand the guys that have them. They love them. I mean, just a different ball game with what you can do with them, and you know, you're on your audio. You know how wide you can go out on them and everything like that. But I'll tell you what, Steve, I've I've heard a lot of 7300s, and boy, you got it going on in that 7300. I mean, you got the rack gear to push it back. You know, it's a good sounding radio out of the box, but boy, you got it going on with the rack gear and everything on that. That's probably one of the best 7300s I've ever heard in my life. Back to you.
Are you going to make me go get a vase to put those flowers in? You're killing me, dude. I am pushing so much through the front end of this rig. It is frightening. I think it's really a testament to the audio chain in these radios. I think it really is. It's something I've been meaning to. I've never seen anybody test this or check this out, right? How do I put this? Let's say you have a rig. Just because a rig can go 4K wide doesn't mean it's going to sound as good as a rig with just an amazing audio chain at 3K wide. You kind of see what I'm saying? I know you'll probably get a little bit better top end, but you've got issues with distortion and all kinds of things creep in. I've always wondered that, you know what I mean? If it really is all about just the bandwidth, or, you know, these little ICOMs, I mean, any ICOM pretty much, right? I mean, they're limited. What is ALS? I think a Pro 3 can go to 3 or 3.1, which is still not quite enough, but it makes me wonder, you know, about how good the audio chain is in these newer rigs like the 7300. You kind of see where I'm going with that. Basically what I'm saying is, if I jump to another rig that goes 4K wide and I can't get it to sound as good, I'll tell you what, that's going to irritate me to, you know, that'll push me right over the edge. Over.
Yeah, you're right, Steve. I think with the 7300, what has going on for it is it'll let that audio pass through the front end of that rig. That's what makes that rig so nice when you run rack gear on it. And you know, you can come out the back of that rig also, but there's no need to, you know, sounding like you do. And you're correct. You can go 4 wide, 5 wide, or whatever. If you don't have the, you know, the pipes or the not set up right, you know, all the guys that I know run the, you know, for the audio. They're running the 6400s, but they're still running rack gear, some type of rack gear. The Aphex, I think, is the biggest thing on the rack gear that is a big improvement for any rig. You know, when you're designated a 2.4 wide, you can even make those sound good, but you know, the little bit wider bandwidth, at 2.9 starts the, you know, the fidelity in the audio, I think, anyways. But yeah, when you push that rack gear, and especially with that the Aphex exciter, boy, I'll tell you what, you got that puts the polish on the finished product and sends the signal out that you know, you can put that bottom end in. Like your rig, I'll tell you right now, Steve, you can't tell. If I wasn't looking at a scope or anything, you'd swear that thing's out to 4 wide, but that's not the case. You know, you're about 2, maybe 2.9. Maybe pushing 3 on it at the most, but it's like I said there, it's that rack gear. That's what makes it do it. Back to you.
Yeah, KC3ERD, K1GMM. It's funny because I had completely forgotten about the Aphex. I used to use one years ago, and I was listening to a guy, I was talking to him, his name's Pat. I think he's down, actually, geez, I almost could have rode a bike to his house from where I grew up in Connecticut. And he came in, he was on now I could tell he was on a $15 microphone. The microphone does make a huge difference. It really does. You know, yeah, you can use the gear to make a really crappy mic sound better, but I can tell by listening immediately if they're on some kind of a decent microphone. He was running like a $15 microphone. But I'm telling you, I said, Pat, what on earth did you do? He said, what are you talking about? We got talking about it, and he says, oh, I'm on an Aphex. I got an Aphex 204 sitting here with a $15 microphone. And I'll tell you what, man, it brought that, as cack as that microphone is, it did bring it to life, and it was pretty badass sounding. It was shocking. And that's when I started thinking, you know what? If I were going to recommend 2 pieces of gear to someone on any transceiver that wanted to make it sound really amazing, actually 3 pieces. Get yourself a good tube preamp with parametric EQ built in. Get yourself an Aphex 204 or equivalent oral exciter. And get yourself like a $40 to $60 microphone like what I'm running. It could be anything, but there's a lot of microphones in that price range that will rival the big guns. No joke. And for, you know, 200 and, let's say $300. I mean, good Lord, dude. That's really all you need, you know, and it would wake almost any transceiver up there. Over.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Steve, I agree with you 100% on that. And being with the, like you said, the Aphex exciter, whether it be the 204 or the newer model, I don't know how much the 104, I don't know how good they are. I never experienced any of them, but the 204 and the newer ones they have out right now, they're good exciters. There's no doubt about it. And when you put that bottom end in with the Aphex, you know, I know a lot of guys, they don't run an Aphex, but when they put the bottom end in, it sort of gets dirty and muddy and stuff like that. But with the Aphex, when you put that big bottom in, and you can change the frequency range to drive it, to take that, you know, make it clean on the bottom and still have the lows in it, that's what really makes it nice about that piece of equipment. I don't think there's anything that rivals that, you know, as far as cleaning the bottom end up and making it, getting that well-rounded audio out of it. And you're right, the parametric EQ is a big deal on that too. With your mids and stuff, you can really balance your mids out with the parametrics and stuff. So, hey, Steve, with that being said, I don't want to hold you. I got to get out of here myself anyways. And when I turned the rig on, I was hearing you, so I figured I'd give you a shot there and say hello, because I know the band condition's been pretty bad. So with that being said, Steve, I'll cut you loose, and thanks for picking me up. K1GMM, KC3ERD.
Hey, no problem, Bill. Yeah, I was hoping I'd run into you. I was putting out calls on 223, and then I moved down, kind of looking around the band, and I happened to notice 223 lit up, and it was Glen in there. So I figured if I was in here long enough, we'd run into each other, and we did. So there you go. 7-3. We'll catch you later, my friend. Have a great one. Don't know if you're going to get any snow. We got some snow coming, I guess, through tomorrow night into Wednesday. Winter storm warning posted. All of my antennas are functioning and working as they should. So we will see after. I don't think we're expecting high winds, so I think I'm going to dodge a bullet there. Anyways, catch you later, dog. And I'll be around later. I'll put together some stuff on the signal to noise ratio stuff. And some interesting things regarding antennas, I think. You know, kind of see if I can swat a hornet's nest or something like that. Anyways, we'll catch you later. You know what they say about opinions, Bill? I'm loaded with them. I'll try and keep it just strictly to the facts, but I am going to share what I found, if anybody even cares. We'll catch you later, dude. Have a good one. Thanks for jumping in. K1GMM.
23, Steve. Have a good day.
Alrighty, I'm just waiting to see if anybody else. Oftentimes someone will pop back in. And it looks like we're done. Julio. All right, Martin, good to see you, man. 2 preamp. 2 preamp, probably the best bang for the buck is, it is called, I'll put it in the chat here. Is the Behringer Aphex. Okay, Tintillo, 2 preamp best. There are better ones out there, trust me, but I'm gonna go ahead and just close this out. Just make sure the stream stays good and healthy. Probably the best bang for the buck is what I've had this for a while. It's the Behringer Ultra Gain Pro 2 preamp. It's got built-in, it's got phantom power for a microphone like this. Sorry about, I shouldn't tap it. Jeez, sorry about that. Any microphone that requires phantom power, you'll need a phantom power enabled microphone. Preamp, I'm sorry. Ultra Gain Pro, excellent. I love the thing. It's got 2 channels, parametric EQs built in. And they do work really well. Let's see, the Aphex. This is kind of an older unit. It's not archaic, but they're very expensive new. Bring your freaking wallet. But I bought this for 160 something bucks used off of eBay. They show up all the time on eBay. It's called the Aphex 204 optical oral exciter with optical big bottom. Yeah, sorry about that, Chris. That's really not, I can't believe I did that. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so that's basically it. And then, of course, you need a cable to get from your oral exciter to the radio. That's one area I do not mess around. I just went and I bought a Heil cable. The shielding is plenty adequate, and it just works. It has the PTT line built into it. The rack gear all runs on 3-pin XLR. So you will need a 3-pin XLR cable to whatever plug goes into the front or back of the radio. Keep in mind, some radios, you're better off bringing the audio into the back. There's less distortion doing it that way. The IC7300 doesn't matter. You don't know the difference. One issue you will see, you need to check your transceiver. If you bring the audio into the back, you need to make sure that that pin that you're bringing the audio in, and that audio chain that comes in through the back, is not specifically designed for data. If it is, you're busted, because that means that it's going to be pinched. You're going to actually get less bandwidth than through the front. It'll be cleaner, but you're going to kind of shoot yourself in the foot. Now, that being said, you can go online. I believe it's the Kenwood TS870S, which is, I'm looking to get my hands on one. There is a super easy mod to do. Anybody with steady hands, on that transceiver, you need to bring the audio into the back of the rig. And I think it's a DIN. Is it a DIN? I can't remember. You'd have to look. You'll see it online. You have to install a small cap. Don't ask me the value. You'll find it online on the board. And what that does is it basically opens up the bandwidth of the audio. That's it. Slap the cover back on. Tells you exactly where to put it and light it up. You're off and running. That's the way to do it. So that's it. I'm out of here. I got to get upstairs. Got some prepping to do, and good to see you guys. We will catch y'all later. Maybe see you later on if you guys are around. Do the signal to noise carnage, and I'll probably run the rig too. But I'll post a notification when I decide exactly when to know it, so you guys will know when it's going off. Yes, you can, Bill. Yep. What I do here really quick is I actually, see, I have two completely different microphones. This microphone I use for rag chewing. The other microphone is this. It's an Audio-Technica Pro 8 HE. Here's the advantage to getting a preamp like I have and getting 2-channel effects processors. You can set up 2 completely independent microphone systems. This is for DX. It's a very sharp microphone. You have to understand, like DX, crowded bands, special events, stuff like that. A lot of these guys aren't even running 3K wide. In an event, I only run like 2.4K wide, so why the heck am I going to use this thing? I want audio that's going to penetrate, that's going to cut, and that audio is going to be placed anywhere from 800 hertz to about 2 to 2.5 kilohertz. That is incredibly sharp sounding. But that's where you need to be. If you're going to break pileups, that's what you need. So that's the other advantage to running 2 completely independent channels. So all I literally do is I pop the cable out of the Aphex to the radio. I pop it out of this output and plug it into this output, and we're off and running. 2 completely different EQ settings, compression level settings. I have the headset crushed because I want my modulation to peak and hold when I'm working DX. This one I want a little bit of inflection in my voice, because if you run too much compression, it does affect the audio quality. You have to be really careful with that. More limiting than compression. Usually with like this type of thing, I will run, what am I running? Probably between 2 and 3 to 1 compression, with more limiting than compression. So so I will switch the cams, and then I'm gonna sign off, and I'll run through the rack gear really quick again for anybody who, because you guys are looking at that. Left wide. Okay. Okay, so that's the tube preamp. Microphone hits the tube preamp, goes to the EQ. Let me check that actually. Yes, okay. Tube preamp, I can't remember. Tube preamp, EQ, microverb, that's for a little bit of room ambience. It's just a hint, but if I shut it off, it would sound like I was talking in a pillow. It's not on the stream. I don't have it on the stream. It's only on the rig. Then that goes to a multi-gate expander with parametric filters, and I have that running in 2 stages. Like you can see the lights flashing. This is actually the headset right now. These 2 channels run on this. So sorry about that. Sorry, Chris, I did that on purpose. Okay, and then that dumps to the Aphex Oral Exciter 204, and then it hits the Composer Pro XL, which is an expander gate. It's a compressor limiter expander gate. It also has a de-esser and a peak limiter in it. It's a very good unit. I love that unit. Anyways, that's it, man. I'm out of here. Randy, yeah. No, Randy, I was just testing the stream, that's all. And you can go back and watch it. I had a couple nice rag chews with Glen and Bill on 40. Good to see you guys. I'm out of here. I gotta go. Have a super fun afternoon. What time is it? Good Lord, almost 12:30. I keep tapping the microphone on these guys, and I shouldn't do that because anybody wearing headphones, good luck. Anyways. That's it, man. We'll catch you guys later, 7-3. I'll let it run, and you guys can sign, and then I'm going to pull the plug. Catch you later.